I see lots of people chanting for the next speaker in the chat box. So let me not keep you waiting. To introduce our last speaker of this for this afternoon, may I call on Imuni to introduce her idol? I mean, the next speaker.
I don't have to say it out loud, but before I introduce our DJ today, I would like to remind everyone once again that our session today will end at 5:45. However, if the conversation goes beyond 5:45, you are very welcome to stay. If you have other commitments, we truly understand. So, our last speaker for today will be Mr. Nadzri Harif, who will be moderated by three youth from Petronas School of Life alumni. Nadzri Harif is Brunei's premier magician. He was the first Bruneian to be featured on Asia's Got Talent and also a semi-finalist for the Grandmaster Asia, Asia's biggest TV magic competition. Armed with his charm, mischievous smile, and his magical powers, Nadzri has a modern take on the magic he performs. There will be no rabbits out of hats with this performer, blending illusion, mind reading, and comedy. Prepare to be sucked into his world where weird is the new normal. In Brunei, Nadzri is recognized as a radio DJ for Crystal FM and a sought-after MC. His work have brought him to Australia, Indonesia, Malaysia, and the Philippines. He has also been frequently engaged as an MC for international companies such as Shell, Total, Standard Chartered Bank, and Porsche Brunei Darussalam. Lastly, Nadzri is also a CrossFit and an Under Armour brand ambassador for Southeast Asia, and also a part-time instructor and a personal trainer at Jab Gym. Ladies and gentlemen, Nadzri Harif, the floor is your moderators.
Yeah. So first of all, DJ Nadzri will have a 10-minute
I think
session
DJ Nadzri is
on his
muted.
own. Yeah, DJ Nadzri, you're on mute. It's your show, DJ Nadzri. Go ahead. You're on mute.
That's the magic. That's the magic.
Oh,
That's where the mind reading
magically show
comes
how
into
to
place.
magic the Wi-Fi.
No, it's mind reading, Shaun. It's the mind
Ah,
reading. Yes.
It's part of the show.
Telepathy.
It's part of the show, guys.
DJ Nadzri, we still can't hear you.
Oh my gosh. 1 second.
Yes,
guys.
yes,
you
yes,
got-
yes.
you
Yeah. Wow,
Got it?
magic! Nadzri!
wow.
Oh my gosh. That was so difficult to hear. Thank you so much, guys. How is everyone doing?
Hey, you made the glitch even looks cool.
part of the plan. Oh my gosh. So do you guys want me to jump right into the presentation, or do you guys want me to do stuff first?
We would like to see
Whoa,
the 2D
up
stuff
to you,
first.
DJ Nadzri.
Okay, so guys,
We have
before
up
this,
to 9 o'clock.
Okay. So guys, before this, I was a little bit nervous. So to calm my nerves down, I was playing with my cards. I dropped them on the floor. There was a bit of a mess, and I just sort of picked them up. I put them in the box, and I placed it right behind me, right over here. It's such a weird thing to say, but I promise you it's going to make sense after my presentation, okay? All right, so let's jump on in, guys. I'm gonna bring up this presentation real quick. Let me share screen. The Art of People. There we go. Can you guys all see that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, awesome. All right, guys. Here is the dealio. Okay, first and foremost, today, guys, we are going to be talking about the art of people, or something that I feel I think it also delve into, aka effective communication. Okay, so let's jump on into the first slide. Who am I? I mean, Imuni did such a great intro for me just now. I think I need to just hire her as my hype man before all my shows.
That would be
So-
cool.
So guys, I am Nadzri.
It's
Yeah.
biased. Too
Okay.
biased.
Too biased. So guys, my name's Nadzri Harif. I am 34. I'm from Brunei. I am a magician. As Imuni said just now, I'm a professional magician. I've performed for most, or if not all, the biggest companies in Brunei. I've performed in Singapore, Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines. I've been on a reality TV show in Indonesia called The Grandmaster Asia, where they took the best magician from each country and pit them from each other across the region. It was like The Voice, but for magic. I was also the first magician on, or the first Bruneian to be on Asia's Got Talent. I didn't make it past the live auditions, but it was a pretty cool experience nonetheless. Apart from that, guys, I'm also a radio DJ. I've been a radio DJ since 2011 at Crystal FM, Brunei's most listened to radio station. I'm also a fitness trainer. I am certified level 2 CrossFit coach, certified level 2 precision nutrition coach. I work part-time at Jab Gym. And I'm also a competitive CrossFit athlete where I have been on the podiums and I have competed around the country as well and across the region. On another note, if you guys don't know, my Instagram is at @NazDeNaz. I'm a content creator. I've worked with some brands to sort of get their messages out there in the most fun and best way possible. I've worked with Land Rover, I've worked with Luminox, I've worked with Tourism Thailand, and all these other brands, and it's been such a fun experience. I'm also a family guy. I am married. I've been married for a couple of years now to my wife Tati, and we have a 1.5-year-old by the name of Amar. And guys, it is so much work. So guys, let's move on a little bit. I decided to sort of bring up the stats, right? I kind of wanted to check out what these numbers would sort of mean or bring some value to. The stats, 67.5% in personal life. Let's break that down a little bit. 67.5% according to the American Authority of Marriage Licenses. They did a study in 2010 and they said 67.5% of marriages that ended did so primarily due to communication problems. So that is statistics of communication in your personal life. Let's look at some statistics in the workplace. According to a study in 2019 by Project.co, 92% of people had to repeat a piece of information to 2 or more people within an organization. Let me repeat myself. 92% of people had to repeat a piece of information. 85% of people find it annoying when they have to repeat information. And you know what, guys? We're all guilty. It's never fun when we have to explain it back again to someone else, right? And 96% of people think that businesses they deal with could improve when it comes to communication as well as project management. So, as you can see, communication is not only important in your personal life, but very important in your work life as well. So, what am I going to be talking about with you guys today? We're going to talk about listening and effective listening. We're going to talk about eye contact and how to do it. We're going to talk about non-verbal communication and what it really means. We'll talk about knowing your content. We'll talk about rehearsing with intent and purpose and how to be genuine. So let's get started. Now, listening. Guys, this is one of the most essential elements of effective communication. I know when people say, hey, art of speaking, shouldn't we talk about talking? No, we talk about listening, guys. People who are active or engaged listeners understand things in more detail. Let me break that down. I could be the worst communicator in the world, but if you are engaged and actively listening, you have a very good chance of trying to understand what I'm trying to say. Also, being an active listener allows you to identify the mood of the speaker and the intentions behind it, ultimately building a deeper connection. And that's what we all want as humans in life, right? Just to have deeper connections. So how do I do this? To be an attentive listener, make eye contact, right? Making proper eye contact with someone allows you to not only be more attentive, but to focus on his or her expression and words. We're going to be talking a lot about that a little bit later, okay? In case of confusion, feel free to ask a lot of questions, but make sure to do this only after they are done talking. Don't interrupt them just for your benefit. Okay?
He's talking about me. Sorry.
There he goes again. So now we move on to eye contact, guys. This is something that I feel is super important. It shows attentiveness and it shows interest at what is being said. It shows that I'm paying attention to you, and also I'm genuinely interested in what you have to say and what you have to share. Now, it could be the same. You guys, I'm going to explain it to you. I'm going to show it to you guys right now. I'm going to look away and say the same thing. Eye contact is very important. It shows attentiveness and interest at what is being said. We've all done
You
that.
still
We've all-
look good. It doesn't matter. Coming from you, it's so unfair.
We've all had conversations
Close your
with
eyes. You just close your eyes. We'll all be mesmerized.
putting the eyes and mesmerized. So guys, we've all had that conversation where someone doesn't look at you in the eye, and it always just feels a little bit weird. If you do the same thing to the person, they're gonna feel the exact same way. I personally feel, guys, eye contact is very similar to a conversation. Having eye contact opens and closes communication. Before I say hi to someone, I'm going to make eye contact with you. Before I say goodbye to you, I'm still going to make eye contact to you, because I want you to know this interaction we have is genuine, and I really appreciate the time you give me. All right. Also, increased eye contact is associated with credibility. It makes you look knowledgeable and you know what you're talking about. Have you ever lied? And when you're trying to explain to someone, you look away. It could be because you're ashamed, or because you feel guilty of how that person is looking at you for not telling the truth or not knowing what you're talking about. So eye contact, guys, very important. All right. So how do we make eye contact? Well, one-on-one, it just means I'm looking at you right in the eye. I want you to know that I'm paying attention to everything you say. And one of the best ways to do that is to look at you in the eye. Virtually, it just means I'm looking at the camera. Now, I know when we speak on Zoom, it's so easy to just look at the screen right here, but I really want you guys to make that extra effort to look into the camera so you can establish a deeper connection with your viewer. I actually know a few magician friends who stick pictures of eyes around the camera so they look there the whole time. So that's a little trick you guys can do. In a crowd or in a room, I am scanning the room, right? I'm looking to the left side of the room. I'm looking to the people on the right side of the room. I'm looking to the people in the back. And I keep scanning and rotating every time throughout my conversation, because I want everyone to feel like they're in this conversation with me. I want everyone to be engaged, and I want them to all to have the same experience that I'm giving out to everyone else. Okay, so let's move on to non-verbal communication. This is what I've labeled non-verbal communication as. It is the art of speaking without words. Guys, your body language is such an important role for you to be an effective communicator. Words are important, but what's more important is your eye contact, your tone of voice, your facial expressions, and your hand gestures as well. All right, so we spoke about eye contact earlier. It just makes them know that you're interested and you're attentive. In terms of tone, does my voice sound like I'm welcoming, or do I sound angry? Do I sound nervous? Do I sound scared? In terms of my face, do I look approachable? Do I have resting annoyed face? Do I look bored? These are things that I'm paying attention to when I'm talking to someone. And lastly, hand gestures. Am I being dynamic? Am I emphasizing a point with my hands? Am I using my hands to give you a better idea of what I'm talking about? So guys, using non-verbal communication while speaking helps build a stronger relationship between people. And when I get a stronger relationship with someone, that means I can deliver my message more conveniently and effectively. Now, this is a two-pronged thing. It doesn't only work when I am talking. It also happens when I'm listening. And when I'm listening, I look out for two things, guys. Number one, I look at your body language so I can interpret whatever your message is in the best way possible. I can check your tone, your face, your hand gestures, and all that stuff. Number two, when I'm listening, I am aware of my own body language. Am I giving good vibes? Are my hands crossed and I look defensive? Am I making the person feel like this is a safe space to speak, and that he is speaking to someone that has no judgment at all? That is everything I'm thinking about every time I have a conversation with someone. Now, next is knowing your content. I feel in communication, it's all about the content plus the delivery. In magic, it is similar. It's all about the presentation, all the words and all the fancy stuff, and the method, how it actually works. What sleight of hand am I using? My props. That is what I feel magic is. So, knowing my content or knowing my magic allows me to be in the moment. It allows me to be in my flow state so I can interact and I can improvise with you. In magic, any of the routines you've seen me performed, I have practiced hours, sometimes even hundreds of hours. One routine can be anywhere from 1 minute on stage to 10 minutes on stage. Now, practicing the method, how it works, allows me to be smooth, right? So I can work out all the kinks and all the placements. Learning the presentation, what to say, makes me look even more smooth. So there's no dead time and everything has a purpose. Now, guys, it works both ways, right? Getting the method, right? Knowing what to do allows me to focus on my presentation. And once I know what my presentation is, it allows me to be more present so that I can start focusing on engaging and interacting with my spectators. This is where I make the real connections. It's not about the story I'm going to tell you about my trick. It's what emotions we can bring up and what conversation we can have about it. All right? So next, how to practice. Rehearse or perform with intent and purpose. When I practice or when I perform, I don't just repeat the things over and over and over again. I look for what went wrong or any shortcomings. For example, was there a dead time when I was waiting for someone to come up on stage? Were there places I fumbled because one of the props wasn't in the right place or I was too far away? Do I see moments in my presentation where I see people's attention start to drop? These are things I'm aware of when I'm performing magic on stage. I also look for things to make better, right? Things that could make an effect smoother or stronger. I look for jokes that maybe I come up with at the spur of the moment, or jokes that even my audience comes up with, and that can make my show better or funnier. And how can I repeat these moments in my future performances? These are all going through my head every time I perform, guys. And last but not least, be open to criticism, guys. Ask your friends, ask your colleagues, ask people you look up to on how you can improve. You have no idea. I've emailed so many magicians around the world. I've dealt with magicians. I've spoken to them about my act. They will tear it down, but it sucks. But the end goal, guys, is to just be a better person or a better performer. Now, how do you practice? I'm in the car a lot. So if I'm on the way to a speaking engagement, I'll practice while I'm driving. I'll practice visualizing the crowd, visualizing the script, all of that in my head. Now, if you have the opportunity, when I perform, I set up a camera. So that way I can play back all my footage and see where my shortcomings were and how I can fix that for my future performances. If you don't have a camera, perform in a mirror, right? Keep eye contact with yourself and find ways and be aware of how your body looks or how you're moving throughout your performance or your rehearsal. And lastly, guys, ask a friend. Right? Super easy. Just ask your friend to sit down. Ask your friend to sort of watch your performance or your presentation, and then go from there. All right. Let's move on. I hope I haven't lost everyone, guys. Second last slide here. Be genuine. Right? We live in a world of social media, guys. Everyone is going to sense when someone is being fake. Personally, I am a 34-year-old dad. I love dad jokes. I love geeky things. And I live in Brunei. I own it. I'm not going to pretend like I'm a Las Vegas magician with doves flying out of my hands and chainsaws and heavy metal music in the background. I would love to be that guy, but it isn't me. And that's okay. I know who I am and I know who I want to be. And lastly, guys, be curious, get out there, explore, find out who you are, find out who you want to be. Take the tips that I gave you today and run with it. And you know what? It might not work for you, and that's okay. Explore, try all sorts of different things. And lastly, don't be afraid to fail. Failure is normal. And it's part of the process of just becoming a better performer, a better communicator, or a better person. And guys, that is it. That is the end of my presentation on being an effective communicator. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Great. Thank you, DJ Nadzri, for that. So
Not a problem. Just give me 1 second. I think I've got a loose
Sure.
cable on my screen. 1 second. One.
Magic.
All
He's
right, I'm
fixing
here.
his magic.
Hopefully,
He's
hopefully,
cheating.
I've lost my screen with you guys. There we go. All right, cool. All right, ready to go.
so
Yeah,
yeah.
I hope you guys enjoyed that.
Yeah, well, we do enjoy that. I love the one that you said at the end where failure is normal, and then you learn through the process from that. So let me introduce myself. So there are 3 of us actually that's going to be moderating the question and answers with
Okay.
the session with DJ Nadzri. Hi everyone. Actually, my heart is beating faster right now. Okay. It's nice to see you again, DJ Nadzri, since the last.
It's nice to see you as well. Hey, we
last
forgot.
time in
I
September.
Faisal, I forgot. We've got the trick. We've got the trick.
Okay,
So
go
guys,
ahead.
yes.
Please,
So
please.
guys,
Love to
now if you guys listen to my presentation, just by observing and by listening, we can understand the intentions and purpose of the person we're talking to. Being a magician, if you take it a step further, not only can you understand a person, but you can hopefully second guess the decisions they make. It sounds really weird, but it's going to make sense. Faisal, can you help me out with this one?
How?
Okay. Do you have a good imagination, Faisal?
Let's try.
Okay. Do you know what this is? It's an invisible deck of cards. The last time I did a show, it was like
okay.
a beak. It's not a beak. It's an invisible deck of cards. Hey, Faisal, with your imagination, I'm going to pass you this deck through the camera, and you have to take it, okay? Go on, take it. There we go. Perfect. Faisal, can you shuffle the cards for me? Oh my goodness. Faisal is so good. He's shuffling while it's still inside the box. Faisal, open the box. Open the box, bud. Open the box. There we go. Good. Shuffle the cards. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Perfect. Awesome. Great. Now, Faisal, I'm going to get you to select a card. Now, people usually say their favorite cards. Women usually say Queen of Hearts. Men usually say Ace of Spades or King of Spades. So we're going to come up with a card in the most fair way possible. I want you to look through your cards right now, and I want you to notice there are 2 colors, black or red. Do you want your card to be black or red?
Black.
Black, okay. Black means clubs that look like the three balls that looks like a tree, and then spades. Do you want your card to be clubs or spades?
Spades.
Okay. Now, if you look at a suit, there are 13 cards. Ace to 10 is number. Jack, Queen, King is picture. Do you want your card to be number or picture?
Picture.
Picture. That leaves us with Jack, Queen, King. What do you want your card to be?
Jack.
Jack of spades.
Yeah.
Did that feel fair, Faisal? No, he's questioning it now. Okay, Faisal, tell you what. I'm going to give you 1 chance to change your mind. But remember, changing your mind is a sign of weakness. But don't let that sway your decision. Go ahead. Do you want to stick with the Jack of Spades or do you want to change your mind?
Yeah, I stick with Jack of Spades.
Okay. Now, Faisal, here's what I want you to do. Take the Jack of Spades out of the deck. Turn it the other way around. Put it back inside. Put it in the box. And then give it back to me. You got it. You got it. You can pass it back to me, Faisal. Thank you very much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is where the real magic happens. When I snap my fingers, the imaginary deck goes up around the ceiling 3, 4, 5,000 times, and it lands inside that box. Now, remember, guys, at the start of the presentation, I said that the cards were in a bit of a mess. It's such a weird thing to say, but hopefully it will make sense right now. At no point in time after this will that deck leave the frame. Faisal, Jack of Spades?
Yes.
Faisal, you could have said any card, and you said Jack of Spades.
Wow.
Well done, bud. Oh my gosh. Well done, Faisal. Well done.
Well, I do feel like I'm the one that were on this stage on your Grandmaster of Asia, where you go to the stage to pick someone on the audience,
Yeah.
among the audience,
Yeah.
and then you bring it on the
Yeah.
on the stage.
Yeah.
Actually, Shaun shot the video on you
Okay.
were performing during that time, and then there was this one video where you, in the end, the Wonder Woman, you show us the Wonder Woman. Yeah, so.
Yeah. I got eliminated after that. I wonder why.
So you were performing 3 times, am I right? 3 times. So,
Correct. Yeah.
During
Yeah.
that,
I made it to the
yeah,
semifinals.
so-
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched all those 3, and it was
Oh, wow.
quite interesting. So yeah,
Cool, man.
let's move on to the questions.
Yeah.
I think anyway, I'm here with the 2 of my friends, Amir Ifwat and Nazirul. Nazirul, you want to say hi, and Amir Ifwat, say hi to the audience.
Hello everyone, my name is Nadzri from IBD Mechanical Campus, and I'm passionate about classic cars.
Hello
Ifwat?
everyone. My name is Amir Ifwat. You can call me Ifwat. By the way, I love your comments that I read this from the beginning. It's so roasty. Yep.
Roasty. Oh.
Yep. Keep it
So,
going.
first of all, we want to thank Shaun for allowing us to be the moderator on the Q&A session right now. So, putting in context, we were part of Shaun's previous class on School of Life, and then we had some short session with DJ Nadzri as well. And Shaun want us to do another one, but this time with bigger audience. Let's go into the. I think I have the privilege to ask the first one. So yeah, bring us back to the Grandmaster Asia, where you were performing with among best of the best magician there, and then how do you feel? Bring us on the stage. How's the feeling on the stage, and how don't you feel intimidated performing in front of the judges and alongside the magicians that are quite good at what they're doing? Yeah, take us to that.
So, Faisal, I'm going to tell you right now, I've been performing either magic or emceeing for so many years, and I still get nervous. Even if it's a event for 30 people or an event for 3,000 people, I am so nervous every single time. Even here, before we went on with the presentation, my heart was going crazy. I was so nervous, guys. And
No
yeah,
one
it's
believes
crazy.
you. No one believes you.
It's so crazy. So the Grandmaster Asia stage is amazing. It's got all these LED screens in the background, and just being there was like, wow, this is so cool. I remember thinking to myself years before that, like, something tells me I'm going to be in Indonesia for something. I don't know what it is just yet. And then when I got onto that stage, I knew exactly it was for that reason. It was super nerve-wracking because some of the magicians that were judging and the magicians that were performing were magicians that I looked up to, and people whose material I have purchased or I have learnt before. So it is crazy. I was one of the judges was Damien. He is an Indonesian magician who made it to the semifinals of America's Got Talent. Eric Jones was like this big performer, big magician in the scene. Like, it was just so crazy, guys, and it was so nerve-wracking, but it was a beautiful experience. I got eliminated first, which broke my heart because I wasn't sure what to expect and what things to prepare for. But they were kind enough to bring me back for the wild card. I passed the wild card. I made it to the semifinals, and I was happy with how far we went. So that's how I felt.
That's very nice. I still do remember one of the judge said that if you were a TV, you're the HD, yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
You're the
yeah,
HD
yeah.
TV. So
Was that Sofia Lachuba, the girl?
No, it's the Filipino.
Oh,
one.
Jeffrey Tam.
One.
Yeah, Jeffrey Tam.
That's
Yeah,
from
yeah,
him. Yeah, and
Okay,
then
yeah,
that
that's right.
goes back to my second question. And right now, the comments here are, you already know how it's, you can't even track it. The first moment when you enter, everyone is starstruck, definitely, even with you without even saying anything early on. And then
With my mic off.
you gave us the example of a great first impression. early on we learn about first impression, and we feel with you, we feel a different vibe, we feel a different feeling that your energy and your presence, we can sense that. Can you teach us how do you nail that first impression? Tell the audience.
200 push-up a day.
That's right. That's right. Actually, it's just little pads, guys, that you can. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I don't know, guys. When I walk into a room, I want to feel confident. Even if I don't feel super confident, I will most likely fake that confidence. I will come into the room with a smile. I will look around the room and try to acknowledge everyone that's there. And when I walk up to someone, I give them a good firm handshake, a smile, and I say, "Hi, my name's Nadzri. I'm a magician. Nice to meet you. What's your name?" And then I give off the vibe that I want to be there and I want to get to know you because I genuinely want to be where I am and I genuinely want to know who you are and what you do. So that's what I feel. I think just being genuine is a very important part of the process.
And then people don't even know you're faking it. And
Take the
now,
confidence.
yeah. I won't take much time, and then I'll move on to Naziro, and then if what after that we'll take on the question and answer from the floor. Go ahead, Naziro.
Hello, DJ Nadzri.
Hey, big guy. How are you?
It's nice. I'm fine, Alhamdulillah.
Dude, I heard you're into classic cars.
Yeah.
You need to find me a classic MX-5. We'll talk about this off camera, okay?
Yeah,
Okay,
I did saw
okay.
your post on Instagram.
Help me.
It was
Help
a red
me.
one, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. All right. I won't waste any more of your time.
Okay. So as we have known that you're a great person in every way, so I believe that you have this unique paradigm and perspective. So I believe you also have this great answer. So my question is, all of us know that the underlying concept, the foundation to have a good communication skills is the small talk. So my question is, how do you get a great small talk? And what are the elements you've included in the small talk conversation?
Yeah.
Oh,
So it really depends, man. This is a tough one to break down. I was just talking to a friend of mine, and he was like, "Man, are you making small talk with me? Are you trying to make things less like nerve-wracking?" I'm like, "What? Like I'm just talking with you." Honestly, I think with small talk, I will gauge, right? So I'm observing and I'm listening to see how comfortable this person is with me. Does he want to be left alone or does he want to talk? When it comes to small talk, maybe we could start with, if I know that we have something in common, like you and me, Naz, we talked about classic cars at the start, right? That's something I would do. Maybe it is something to do with our personal lives. Like if we are that comfortable, maybe I will go, "Hey man, so how's the family doing?" Or like, and then it just sort of builds from there. At the end of the day, I'm not just having small talk for the sake of small talk. I'm having the sake of small talk, obviously, to pass the time a little bit. But I also do want to get to know you better. And I try my best to put it off across that, hey, I want to know you because I want to establish a deeper and greater relationship with you. So, yeah.
I like that purpose. It's very amazing. So before we move into the next question, you did mention about being nervous, right? We are no stranger to nervous. Everyone nervous at certain times. We are nervous about about our loved ones and so on. So about being nervous, how do you overcome this nervousness from getting hair wire when you're on stage? Like knowing people are watching you, like a multitude of people are watching you at that moment. So how do you overcome it?
So, Naz, being nervous is really important. You know why?
Because we value the things that we love.
Correct. Being nervous means that I care. If I wasn't nervous, I wouldn't care about how I feel before I go on stage. So being nervous before you speak or before you do whatever you need to do is very important because it lets you know that, hey, this is something you want to do and you care about it. So when it comes to hosting, I always get nervous before stage. When I do go on stage, if I can deliver my opening or my intro with a bang, I know the rest of the night is going to go smooth. However, I'm also aware that anything that can go wrong will go wrong. I've had the worst performances ever, and do you guys want to hear it?
Sure can.
So I was performing for a VVVVIP. It was her birthday, and I remember this. This was at the Polo Club. It was probably my first year being a professional magician. I was performing for her birthday. She was sat in the front. She was sat in the front, right and center. I pulled up a volunteer on stage. I had to turn away, and I was shouting out instructions to him. And when I look back, I realized he didn't follow the instructions and everything went wrong. So I was like, okay, how can we save this? So I went up to him and I did an impromptu sort of pickpocketing act. You know, took out his like wallet and his like watch and all that stuff. And then after that, as he walked off, he bumped my prop case. And my prop case fell on the floor. All my props and my gimmicks went all over the floor at the ground floor of Polo. And I was freaking out. So I looked down at all the props. I looked up at the VVVVVIP. I looked around. I grabbed the mic and I say, well, this is awkward. And then everyone sort of laughed and then went on. And there were two things that I could have done, right? Number one is I could have just said, thank you very much, and just walk off. Number two, I would have picked up all my things, put it back in, and then continue with the show. And that's what I did. So I went on with the show. I cried about it the next day. But now I know that whatever could go wrong went wrong. That is potentially the worst show that I could ever do. And if I survive that, I can survive any other show. So that's how I get over the nerves.
MashaAllah. Thank you, DJ Nadzri, for your
Not a
answer.
problem.
It's very amazing. Like, I wish I have more time to talk with you.
We'll do it.
So-
We'll do it some other time.
We'll not waste more time, and so I'll pass the floor to Ifwat. Thank you, DJ.
No problem, buddy.
Hello everyone. So I've been waiting for my turn from the beginning until now.
Oh, that's all the time we have left. Sorry if
I
I.
waited from 2:15 just now, and
Oh my gosh.
I think now it's 6, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So hello, DJ Nadzri. How are you?
Hi, Fuad. I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm fine. So for my first question, we can see that you do MCs, you joined the magic shows, and then DJ in the morning, early in the morning, and I missed the singing kids in the car. Oh yeah, I missed that moment. And then it comes to my first question: how do you connect and build a relationship with people? And can you teach us how to be a great communicator? And what is your secret sauce or spice? And what inspires you the most on doing that such a good thing?
I think a lot of the stuff that you guys saw in my presentation earlier, that's all the secret sauce right there. Like, I genuinely want to listen. I'm making eye contact. I'm observing. I'm looking at you. I'm genuine, right? And I think once you know what you're passionate about and what you want to push out there into the world, it gets so easy to sort of talk about it. I love magic. I love performing. I left my day job being corporate communications for Pabaranan Taib a couple of years ago because I wanted to pursue my life as a magician, as a coach, and as a radio DJ. I remember the disappointment on my mom's face when I told her, hey mom, I'm going to quit my job so I can be a magician. She was like, what? Like, you know, and but I obviously had a plan, right? I made sure that I had enough savings to last me a certain amount of months, and I gave myself a timeline. I gave myself 6 months, and if it worked out, it worked out. If it didn't work out, it's okay. I know I tried. So I feel if you know what you're super passionate about, it's going to be super easy to communicate these things to the people out there. And yeah, I hope that's answered your question, Ifwat.
Okay, that's nice, dude. I love it. So since you mentioned about your mom,
Yeah.
we know that she's so flawless, she's so gorgeous. Can you
My
can you
mom would
talk,
love that.
yeah, can you talk a bit about your mother and how she faced that you say that she amazed that you want to
Yeah.
quit and be a magician? Can you talk about
So,
it?
so let me give you guys a little bit of context. Like, I'm the biggest mama's boy. Like, I love my mom to bits because when I was 13, my parents got divorced, and I lived with my mom. And at 13, I was in a pretty comfortable sort of like lifestyle, you know. But after the divorce, I think it got a little bit rough. And I saw my mom scrape the bottom of the barrel every single time to sort of help us all get by, in terms of food and our welfare and to get us things that we wanted. So that really helped teach me the value of hard work and the value of $1, So yeah, my mom is a very special person. She's one of the people that motivates me the most and who inspires me the most as well. She when I told her, she was not impressed. We were in the car. It was along the Pasir Brakas Road. I remember the exact moment when I told her too. It was just after the traffic lights, and I looked at her. I'm like, Mom, I think I'm gonna quit my job. And she's like, what? And do what? And I'm like, well, I kind of want to do magic. She's like, what? And I was like, I just want to be a coach and I want to be a radio DJ. And I'm like, don't worry, I've got like all this money set aside, and give me 6 months. If it works out, that's a bonus. If it doesn't work out, it's okay. At least I've tried it. I've gotten it off my shoulder. I can sort of move on with my life with no regrets. I just didn't want to be the guy 5 years down the line wondering at the same computer table, like, what would happen if I actually did make that jump? So yeah, 6 months went by. I was still helping provide for the family and stuff like that. I was still able to do all that while pursuing my passions. And I think she sees that, and the fact that I can support like my family as well, doing what I enjoy. I think that gives her a little bit more confidence. It's totally normal for your mom to feel worried or angry or scared because they are your parent. They are looking out for the best for you, and they're just worried that it might not be the safest step to take. So yeah.
Oh, yes. Even my mom just now. Continue.
Finish it if I say.
You go first. You go first.
Okay. Picking up from that, DJ Nadzri, do you already like kind of have an idea that you want to be a magician at an early age, or it just comes as things, go with the flow, something like that?
Yeah, well, I think it was more of a flow thing. Like I've been practicing magic for so long, just playing with it and just seeing the interactions and stuff. And I was like, wow, I think there's a potential here to sort of make a living off of this. So I just decided later on in my life to, when I got back from Australia from studying, people wanted to hire me for gigs and stuff. And I was like, I think I can kind of make this work. So that's how it all started.
Interesting, because there are so many here young people who are very ready to ask you questions. And then,
all right.
By the way, what time are we finishing it? You're fine. We're ascending.
I'm fine. You guys,
okay,
you have a million
Okay.
questions. I will try answer a million questions.
Okay.
I have my last
Let's
question
go.
for DJ Nadzri.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, my last
Nadzri,
question. I
it will be
promise.
till 10 o'clock, Nadzri.
Okay.
Don't you
go ahead.
worry. Sorry, I didn't warn you.
So my last question is, what can you teach to the young people out there, for example, the Gen Zs, millennials or so out there to navigate their possible careers options and possible career diversion? Is there any?
So guys, I'm going to tell you right now, my background, what I studied for, I have a Bachelor of Applied Science in Geomatics. That is basically land surveying, satellite mapping, all that stuff.
Wow.
I have a minor in public corporate communications, right? So like media releases, scripts, and all. That's the stuff I genuinely enjoy. So when I was making my decision on what to study, I majored in something that I knew had a high chance of getting me a job, and I minored in something that I was passionate about. So that's sort of that's my background. When I got back, I did have a job in corporate communications, so that worked out for me because that's what I enjoyed. Now, in terms of navigating like your passions and all that stuff, I think make sure you have a plan. I made sure I had an emergency fund. I made sure I had more gigs and more slots lined up to cover me over the next few months. I made sure I had all these safeguards in place before I actually made the jump. And guys, if you're looking for a side hustle, it's called a side hustle for a reason. It doesn't mean that you have to skip a day job. You can still do your day job and then do other stuff on the side after working hours. I did that for so many years. I was working 9 to 5. I would coach from 5:30 to 6:30. I would go home, have dinner, then I would have radio from 9:30 to midnight a couple times a week. And that's what I did on a regular basis. So just because it's called just because it's a side hustle doesn't mean that you have to quit your day job. So have a plan, be open to changes, and juggle if you can, if that's something you're good at.
Sir,
DJ
you can
Nadzri.
gain.
Oh,
Okay.
but Okay,
you
okay.
go, you go.
Sorry, Jamin. I have this one question.
Nadzri, I'm so sorry. There are people holding up hands for the last 20 minutes.
Okay.
Give them a
I'll
chance.
just let it pass.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So
Shall
we'll
we
pick
give them a
we'll
chance?
pick the questions from the floor.
Look at
People are
Mooney
very
just smiling to herself there. She's like,
excited. People are very excited to shower DJ Nadzri with questions. So we
All
go
right, let's
for
do
the
it.
first one. Abdul Hakim, go ahead.
Hi, DJ Nadzri. It's
Hey,
quite an
bud.
opportunity to talk to you.
Hey,
Okay.
I'm happy I'm get to talk to you.
Okay, so I have two questions. One is quite tricky, one is quite easy. So how did you master your accent?
Oh my god, guys! To be honest, I have a bit of a Rojak accent. I personally think, I got this accent from watching a lot of TV and listening to a lot of hip hop growing up. Like I loved listening to Jay-Z and all these rappers and stuff like that. And I think when you try to sing their songs or you try to talk like your favorite actors and stuff, I think that's how I picked up my accent. So yeah. So it's not fake. I don't go off after this and be like, "Eh, ngalek ko," you know. So you know, yeah.
Okay, so for the next question, what would you advise to speakers in order to feel more confident in their performance?
Practice, man. Practice. Record yourself. Watch yourself. I have a few magicians friends and a few comedians as well that record their sets. That way they can come back, they can listen to it, where people were laughing, how many times people were laughing, did people gasp, all that stuff. And I think from there, only if you practice and you get out there and do it, will you know how to improve.
All right, thanks for answering my question.
No problem, Hakeem.
Hey, next we move on to Nazira.
From Progressix.
Yes, I'm representing on behalf of Progressix here.
Okay.
Okay. The question I wanna ask you is, I realize that not everyone has the same learning strategy, and it doesn't really apply to them in the same way. So I'm just going to ask for your personal experience. So, what is the most effective way that you find is good for picking up communication skills specifically from other people?
Yeah. So Nazira, great question. Personally, I think everyone else is gonna learn differently. As a nutrition coach or as a fitness coach, when I'm communicating with my clients, I try to see what kind of learners they are and what their superpowers are, right? So are they a visual learner? Do they prefer like the spoken word? Do I need to show them how it actually works? So I think it really depends on what works for you or for that person. For me, if I'm learning magic, I'm a visual learner. I kind of need to see how everything works. Sometimes I will read books because a lot of the best magic tricks are in books, like this one, The Boy Who Cried Magic. And from there, when I read, it forces me to slow down and understand things a little bit better. So maybe watching your favorite speaker for a few minutes is a good thing that you can do. And then you can start taking notes why you think that person got a round of applause, why you think that person did well, and then try to slowly adapt that sort of method to your style as well.
Thank you for answering that question. Could you also answer why on the slides did you have squiggle lines next to your name?
Oh, just like random doodles.
Oh, that's nice. I like that.
Thank you. I liked it too. Thank you, Nazira.
We move on to the
Our
next one.
time enough? Is our time enough? We can
Shaun, what
proceed
time are we
to-
stopping?
Nadzri, is it okay?
How far
We
can
have
we go?
Nadzri. We have 8 people, one minute per person, and then we
Sure.
call it a day.
All right, let's do it.
So the last questioner is Joshua.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
Thank you.
Okay.
So
Gafur.
also asking on behalf of Progressix, yes, I have.
No, Joshua, you're the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Gafur
Joshua. You're the last one, Joshua.
Yeah,
So
I have 3 questions.
Yeah,
No,
hold
no,
on.
Joshua,
Save them later.
Joshua. Yeah, later. You're the last
Save the
person
best
to
for the
ask
last.
question, all right? Yeah, we start with
Oh,
Gafur, and then
we-
it goes all the way down.
Oh,
That
whoops.
question for
Sorry,
Gafur,
sorry,
right?
sorry, sorry.
Yeah,
I couldn't
yeah.
see the thing.
No problem, no problem.
Okay, we go with Gafur.
Yep.
Please ask
All
your
right, it's an
question.
honor to meet you, Nadzri.
Hey,
So,
it's the
my,
pleasure's all mine to meet you, Gafur.
oh, really? Okay. So, like, a few times before, I've tried online creations. Like, I've tried to become a VTuber or did some online stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just want to ask, have you ever felt like sometimes people are praising you too much or give you too much credit when you think that maybe you can do better than that? It's kind of like imposter syndrome. How would you handle that?
Dude, like that's like nail in the head right there. I think there are always times where I perform or whatever and I'm just like, what am I doing here? Am I the right person for the job? When people hire me to MC in Singapore or to perform on stages in Manila, I'm just like, I'll tell my wife and be like, do you think this is legit? Should I really be doing this? You know, so you need to keep people around you that are real with you, right? You cannot surround yourself with yes men, people who just say, hey, great job. You did so good. You did great. I need people like my wife over here be like, that trick sucked. Like, okay, I'll work on it. I'll work on it. So, so you need to have real people around you that not only will not be afraid to tell you the truth, but also genuinely want to see you succeed as well. So that's what I think.
Next one, Bazila.
Hi, DJ Nadzri. Big fan, by the way.
Hi,
So,
Bazila.
I only have one question.
Go on.
When you were younger, what qualities